Hey guys, what's up? So in this video, we're going to be looking at how to get up and running with PHP 7. And I'm using a Windows machine, so I want to use a local version of Apache. It seems like a lot of developers out there in PHP are only able to configure their environment. At least I've seen people, it seems like everybody's like use XAMPP for everything. I'm not even sure if that's how you pronounce XAMPP. But it's a software program that's been around forever that everybody uses with PHP because it gives you easy access to be able to install MySQL, kick off a MySQL server, as well as Apache and everything else, and they don't have to configure anything for the most part. But it's always a good idea to configure your own environment. And you're going to see in this video, it's actually not difficult to set up and install PHP or Apache and have them working together. So if I wanted to use the latest version of PHP, I can see that the current stable version is 7.2.6. I'm going to go to the Windows download, and it's just going to give me a couple of options here. I can use 64-bit, and that's actually what I'm going to use. And then also, I don't really care about the debug pack, but I'm going to grab the thread safe version. So that is important that you grab the thread safe version because it won't have the module that we need for Apache to use if you don't. So make sure you grab that. So in case you guys don't know, Apache is actually a web server language. It's basically a program that runs on web servers to deal with network traffic. And it obviously is getting requests and routing responses and things like that. So that's what servers do. Apache is a tried and true server. It's been around forever. When I say forever, at least like 25 years, 30 years probably. And the project is open source. It's always been open source. It's actually the leading web server. So if you look at all the different websites out there, the majority of them are still being written on Apache or running on Apache. So there's all kinds of different mods that people install with Apache, and that's where like a lot of power comes in, because you're gonna hear about like mod WSGI and just like WSGI files in Python, and like PHP. There's different mods that you can have as well. So it's like there's all kinds of ways you can customize your Apache web server. So again, we want to go for just the latest stable version, which is a 2.4 series. And then I need to save files for Microsoft Windows. Sorry, this part is confusing and it changes sometimes, but where you end up having to go is it actually tells you, it's not in the binaries. Apache does not release binaries, and that's what you need on Windows in order to be able to run Apache. So it's telling you have to go to one of these other sites here to get like an actual binary version, because they Apache as a community, as a group, is only releasing the source code. So anyway, let's go ahead and make sure we're downloading this zip file. And then once we have it, we want to go ahead and extract that. We need to extract both of these locations actually. So for starters, let me go ahead and I'm going to open up my extraction folder here. This is the PHP file that we just downloaded. And you're going to take all of the contents of that file and you're going to extract it, and we're going to create a directory under our C drive. So I can just say new folder, and I'm going to call it just simply PHP, and I'll make sure that that folder is selected, press OK. So I'm extracting all these PHP files to that location. Next, I need on Windows, I need to pull up Cortana and type in your environment variables. Click on that so that you can actually, we're going to change our environment variables so that we know where PHP is located. Now, because I've had PHP installed before, what you need to do is on this environment variable screen, click environment variables, go to your path up here at the user variable, and then we're going to click edit. Now, I've already installed PHP before, so mine is already there, but you need to have a listing in here that points to the PHP folder, because Windows needs to know what PHP is and how to execute PHP scripts and such like that. So that's why you need to add PHP to your path, and we want to do that. And once you do that, you have to make sure you restart your like command line. So if you have a command line open like I do, you have to restart these for those paths to take effect. All right, and here is the other directory for Apache, and it's in this Apache 2.4 directory. I'm going to keep it in the Apache 2.4 directory. I'm actually going to extract this entire directory to the C drive. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to pull up a Visual Studio Code editor just so that I can open up my folder for Apache and see some of the files. I'm going to select the Apache folder that we just downloaded and just select that. And inside here, there's a couple things we need to take a look at. For starters, let's go ahead and just test Apache and see if we can get it working. I'm going to open up, by right clicking, I can say reveal and explore. This is going to open up this directory in the Explorer. If I remove all this and just type CMD, it'll open up a command line to that folder. And I want to show you what's in here. There's a bin folder, and we need to cd into the bin folder. And then we need to go ahead and let's take a look. There's this httpd.exe file. That's actually how you manually start your Apache web server. So if I just type httpd.exe, I have a hard time saying that for some reason. I'm not sure if you guys do too. And then just type it. You don't even have to type the exe if you don't want to. But it's not going to say anything. Like, it's really weird. But the server is actually running and listening now. So where is the server running and listening? Well, that's a complicated question. Well, it's actually not that complicated. In the htdocs, in the config, httpd config file, this is like your main config. It's very important that your server root is pointing to the actual location to where Apache can be found. A lot of these modules and everything are, you don't really want to mess with, but all the settings and everything for Apache are going to be inside of here, including where it listens. So there's probably some sort of listening command here, listening on 80. So by default, it's going to listen on localhost port 80. So let's go ahead and take a look and see if that's working. All right, so and by default 80 is localhost, so you probably didn't have to put that port number. But anyway, you can see that Apache is delivering a web page there, so that's pretty cool. That's being delivered by your server. Where is that page? If you go to the htdocs, you can see that this is the index.html page, and that's what is being rendered by Apache. It's missing a head tag. I'm just kidding. No, we don't need that. Anyway, so what I want to do in this, from here is I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to install Apache. I want to show you how to use PHP. So like if I were to rename this to index.php, you can see my editor picks up on the fact that it's a PHP file. And here, like, I'll go ahead and just embed some code, like in a PHP statement. I could say echo. You know what? I'll actually get rid of everything in the body because PHP can actually render HTML, which is one of the benefits of it since it's a language that runs on the server. And you just have to type inside these PHP brackets any sort of PHP statement that you want to say. So here I'm going to go ahead and just put inside of a h1 tag. I'll just say hello PHP and Apache. And then obviously you need to close off your bracket there. Alright, so now what happens when we go to navigate to that page? If we refresh, you're going to see that we have this index.php. If we click on it, you can see that the PHP is not being executed. It's actually displaying the raw PHP, which is not what we want. So PHP is not being executed by Apache by default. That's where a lot of people are like, oh, I got to use XAMPP, I can't figure this out. No, it's not a big deal. It's really not. So you have to go back to your config, httpd config file, which we already have open here. And there's a statement that we need to inject at the top of it. And I'm going to actually copy and paste this because I don't want to screw this up, because if I do, then you guys will be pissed off. So you're going to want to pause the video so you can actually like type this in. Now, there's a few things here. So number one, because we did the thread safe version of PHP, it comes with this module that we need to reference, the 2.4 PHP 7 Apache 2 module. If we wanted to see if that actually exists, I'm going to go ahead and just open up my editor I'm going to get a new window here, and I'm going to open up the PHP folder. So I'll select that folder. And then inside here, like you can see once again that we're referencing this Apache PHP 7 Apache 2.4 DLL. So that's all I'm doing. I just need to know, like Apache needs to know where that is because it's loading that module, and that module is what's executing the PHP code. These are a couple other directors we're not going to worry too much about. This is very important as well. This needs to point to wherever you extracted PHP to. And that's your PHP Ini directory. Now the final step to make this work, and it seems like a pain in the ass, but it's really not. There's just a couple step process. The final step is that we need to go to our PHP directory again. So I already have that open, and it comes by default with this php.ini development. Now this is it's important that if you want to customize the way that PHP is being executed and such, you would do that in here. But what I need to do is I need to rename the file to just PHP Ini, because that's what Apache is going to be looking for in order to figure out how to execute its PHP code. So now we have this PHP Ini file. You can see that we're now getting the proper formatting and things like that from Visual Studio Code, so it's smart to pick up on that. And all this stuff, we're just going to keep all this stuff actually by default. This should be pretty good. This is the stuff that ships with PHP. So now that we've done that, we need to go back to the command line where we executed our Apache server. Anytime you make a change to your Apache server, you need to go ahead and kill it by pressing Control-C. You sometimes have to press it over and over again, and then it'll die. And then if you just run it again, you're effectively restarting your server. So it's going to take any sort of module changes, config changes, or whatever. All that stuff is going to be taken into account when it restarts. It won't just automatically happen. So now if we go back to our page and we refresh, instead of getting these raw coded response instead of the HTML we were looking for, if we refresh, it's not going to work because it would be helpful if I actually saved my file. I've been doing that a lot lately for some reason, but I need to press Control-S to save my config changes so I can go ahead and restart the server again, and they will take effect. Alright, and if I go back here and I refresh, we can now see that we're getting H1, and that code was actually delivered to us by PHP. So you can see that the HTML that gets rendered from the server doesn't have those PHP script tags and things like that in there. That would be a huge security concern if other people could see your backend logic and everything. So guys, that's it. That's all you need to do to get PHP running on Windows locally with Apache. You have the power to install whatever sort of modules you want, tinker with the settings. You don't necessarily always have to rely on like something like XAMPP or some other project or something to do something as simple as what we just did. So make sure you guys vote up and check out some of my more tutorials if you guys are interested. I have like a ton of tutorials out. I'm putting new stuff out on Udemy, and then also I have stuff on YouTube as well.